Peace and good morning. Hello, Janet. I did have some time away, and thank you for saying that you're glad I'm back. I'm glad to be back too. And it's good to see you all here this morning. When I was in Malibu recently for the movie, oh, good morning, Basilia. When I was in Malibu recently for the movie, I went by Will Rogers Beach, which I didn't know he had a beach, but Will Rogers was a famous wit a famous humorist from maybe the 30s. And one of the sayings he had, excuse me, one of the sayings he had, and this reminded me of it, the seeing that beach, good judgment comes from experience. And a lot of that comes from bad judgment. Good judgment comes from experience, and a lot of that comes from bad judgment. I always thought that was pretty funny and very astute. But wisdom isn't like that. Mm-mm. Wisdom doesn't come from judgment. Wisdom doesn't come from education. Wisdom comes from experience. And what kind of experience? It is worldly wisdom, where the older you get, the more you know. If you want to make it in the world, sometimes it's helpful to have a mentor who can guide you along the way, somebody who has more worldly experience, either in business or in athletics or in whatever you want to do. Somebody who's older who knows what they're doing. That's one kind of wisdom. But that's not the kind of wisdom we're talking about. The kind of wisdom that we're talking about is the kind of wisdom that arises only from direct experience of the divine. And that can happen in lots of different ways, and it can happen in many different quantities and qualities. So it doesn't matter what kind of degrees you have or how much you read about spirituality or whether you go to all sorts of workshops or you have all sorts of knowledge or you studied all these books. It doesn't really make any difference. Wisdom, noetic knowledge, noetic understanding comes from direct experience of the divine. And that can happen in the accumulation of silence, in those moments of silence, which is what we practice here. But it can also happen in those magical, mystical experiences that you have when suddenly you have a transportive thing happen to you. Maybe you have a visitation from the dead, or an out of body experience, or an angel comes to visit you, or some kind of very powerful, life changing experience. And not like this. Okay. This isn't what I'm talking about. Not like a synchronicity, which are beautiful. So I don't. I had a bowl of olives. I don't usually eat a bowl of olives sitting while I'm watching a movie, but I thought I'm gonna have some olives. I had some fresh olives that were shipped over from Greece, and I was like, I'm gonna eat some of those olives. So I grabbed a few of those olives and I put them in a bowl and I brought them out to the sofa where I was watching this film. And I like I said, I never eat a bowl of olives while I'm for a snack. I have them in the salad, I have them on the pizza, I have them in here and there. But I'm sitting there eating a bowl of olives, and as soon as I sit down with this bowl of olives and I click the movie back on, what happens? But one of the characters says, "Well, it's not like it's" no, he said, "Well, this experience is like when you get a bowl of olives and you're sitting at the restaurant and you really want the meal, but you just get the olives." And here I am sitting there with a bowl of olives. I have never heard a line like that in a movie, and I never had a bowl of olives in my hand before. But it was divine synchronicity. It was fat. It was fun, but it was not wisdom creating. Wisdom creating comes from direct experience where you're transformed, where there's a mark left inside of you from your divine experience, and from thenceforth, you have this partial wisdom, this bit of wisdom that you have. But it's not wise to show your wisdom. It's not wise to try to prove your wisdom to people because that's the opposite. Wisdom comes with humility. It's if you're trying to prove that you're wise in the ways of the world, sure. But if you're trying to show that you're wise in the ways of spirituality, well, that's an entirely different thing. If you're trying to prove that, that just goes to show you that you're not. That's the way it works. Wisdom can be accumulated in the moments of silence in our practice, where the mind is shut off and you get to sit inside that quietude. And then maybe it's a breath here and a breath there. Maybe it's one single breath in your meditation practice where suddenly you have this moment of silence. But over a lifetime, they accumulate. And the more they accumulate, the more you understand that you're not your body, you're not your mind, and that you're actually trapped inside your mind, trapped inside your body. And wisdom is knowing something of that. So, hi, everybody. Thanks for liking the video. It really helps. I appreciate it. Everybody who's here. I gotta say hi to folks. Basilia, hey Wendy, love those divine coincidences. Yeah, it was really great. It was very funny and very unexpected. And that microphone is way too close under my chin there. All right, I hope that helps a little bit to you this morning. Wisdom doesn't come from books. Real wisdom comes from direct experience of the divine, and that can be cultivated. You can cultivate wisdom, and that's what we're doing here this morning. That's what we do here all the time when we meditate in our sangha. Sorry, I've got some kind of thing going on in my throat. I'm going to turn down my mic for a second and clear my throat. There we go. Maybe that's a little bit better. All right. I hope that's loud enough again. Maybe not too loud. Here we go. Thanks for liking the video, you folks. All right. So simply what we do here is we have a little talk and then we meditate, and we meditate together because there's an accumulation of energy, of divine energy when we meditate together with two or more are gathered, I am there, etc., etc. The divine presence. Hi, Cindy. Hey, Charles. Good morning, Diane. All right. I'm going to put on my mask. Hey, Siri, set a timer for 20 minutes. 20 minutes starting now. I love that when she does that. All right. I'll see you in 20 minutes. Begin with 3 ohms. We chant with your meditation prayer. Follow your breath. When your mind wanders, go back to your breath and your chant. And if you've been practicing with me for a while, or you happen to be there yesterday at Tuesday, we've been aiming for a single spot in your chakras. Hang out in one of your chakras today. Up here, you can go down to your sacral chakra, but make this your focal point, or make your heart your focal point today, and practice being in that one space. All right, here we go. 3 ohms, and then chanting inside our heads with our mantras. Full breath.